Thank you for joining me for your March 2017 forecast. I am excited to be here. It's snowing outside, but you can't see it. Maybe you'll start to see a little bit of it. It just looks strictly white out there, but it's beautiful, so I thought I would record today and get some of that in the background. I'm using the Morgan Greer tarot deck. I've been drawn to this deck for about 2 months now. I love the back of it, just the simple stars. Let's start your astrological forecast, and I'll be shuffling throughout the reading. So, Aries, this is all about you. Happy solar return. March is here. The vernal equinox is about to occur. So, Aries, you've had Uranus with you for several years. It's going to be an 8-year stint total with Uranus in your sector. But on the 2nd of March, Uranus is going to be in an exact opposition to Jupiter again, because Jupiter is retrograde through June 9th. So they're meeting up at their individual 22-degree marks in Jupiter, in Libra and Aries. So Uranus in your first house on the 2nd has a direct exact opposition to Jupiter. And this is affecting the first house of body, 7th house of relationships. Also, please watch your ascendant sign for forecasts because they strongly resonate to your natal placements on your chart. And check your moon sign out too, because I'm receiving some emails that that's working for people, so check that out. This opposition will create tension, but the purpose of this is the willingness to expand and elevate with Jupiter in your relationship sector. So there could be a sudden release with Uranus, a sudden need to shock or surprise. A revelation could occur around this time. Abundance and expansion is happening with Jupiter in Libra in your opposite sign of the 7th house of soulmates. So for those of you in marriages already, you might find that there is some tension in order to create a better existence for the two of you together as a couple. And you might require more physical space, is what I'm getting from this, because of the first house being impacted with Uranus in your sign. The need for more actual space and the expansion with Jupiter in opposition to this, you might need some privacy, you might need your own room, you might need to retreat to your own space to avoid tension. But there is a development of your relationship sector. Now, for those of you single, you want to be out around this time. If you're interested in meeting somebody, if you're single and you're into it, then kick it wherever you want. But if you want to bump into someone, to have sudden development of relationship, that's what Uranus is for. Surprise! So take advantage of that date and maybe be out. I do everything alone. You know, I go out to restaurants, I eat dinner alone, I go to the movies alone, I walk alone, I ride alone, baby. And that's what you have to do when you want things, to work in that magical way. If you're looking for it, Uranus could assist you in relationship at that time. So on the 4th of March, Venus retrograding in your sign, 13 degrees of Aries. So you also start the month with, what was I going to say? Why was I drawn to say you start them? Oh, with Mars in your sign. That's what I'm thinking. So Venus and Mars, romantic planet energy in your first house of self, Aries. I would get out and about if you're interested in connecting, because this month of March is a catalyst month, especially effective the 20th forward, but you've got personal planet placements in your first house for action, romance, emotional stability with the moon, that's the sun and the new moon that's occurring there. So we'll get to that too. But on the 4th, Venus retrogrades. She's going to remain retrograde through April 15th. And she remains retrograde in your first house with the exception of about the last 4 days where she dips into Pisces back to the 26-degree mark. But the benefit of this, Aries, is that you receive Venus all over again for another month. So you've already received some energy of her, attraction, romance, perhaps wealth, prosperity, depending on what side of Venus touches you. Is it the Taurian energy? Is it the Libran energy? She governs both of those signs, and that influences money and love. So she's probably working for you in either way, in either area, but as she's reviewing in her slowed down retrograde, that actually works for analyzing, reviewing the romantic connection that you've established. So this time frame for Aries is about developing connection, developing the relationship with yourself and the relationship with others. On the 9th of March, Mars leaves your sign and enters Taurus, the sign after you, which works for you because this is your money sector. Mars is stimulation. Mars is action in the sign of financial security, in the sign of self-confidence and self-development, personal self-worth. So there is a stimulation in this sector for 60 days. Mars transits 60 days comparatively to the 30-day transits of Venus and the Sun, and Mercury even less at a 21-day transit. From the 9th, Mars is with you in the money sector, and this is going to develop opportunity for increase, opportunity for action in how you are receiving money, maybe promotional energy. On the 12th, we have our full moon at 22 degrees of Virgo. So this house of health, maintenance, routine, pets, for those Arians with older pets or pets who are ailing, please watch them around the time of this full moon, because animals will release the life path if they're in that direction already, not feeling well, old, sick. Full moons in the 6th house could see the ending of that lifespan, which I don't like, but I'm telling that in forecast because it does apply. I'm finding that it does, because the 6th house always gets credit for diet and work and daily schedule, but what about the pets? What about the animals? And full moons bring closure, endings, which is why I mention that. Now, some of you are putting an end to a type of routine that you are doing, a type of route that you're driving in your commute to work. That's the word I'm struggling for. When I get information, it kind of stops me from remembering normal words. So commute is what I'm thinking of. Changing the commute, stopping a position, putting an end to a type of work you're doing in the 6th house, and getting prepared for the new moon in your 1st house at the end of the month, which I'll get to. So some closures happening in the 6th house for Aries around the 12th, 2.5 days before, 2.5 days after. I say that because that is more of maybe a Celtic practice with full and new moons, the energy of them. But full moons can last the whole lunar cycle. The energy of them and where they hit could be a 28-day cycle as well, but they're most poignant or potent, I find, 2.5 days prior and after their highest, their fullest or newest time or moment. So on the 13th, Mercury, planet of communications and details, moves into your 1st house, Aries. So this is what's up, Aries. You've got Uranus with you, as you're used to, the roller coaster ride that is Uranus. The push and pull, the everything happening at once and then nothing happening. Ooh, I see my down comforter is like drifting. I thought it was snowing in this house. I don't know if you just saw that little fuzz like float by. I don't know, is anyone up there in the loft? Okay, so Uranus is with you. The up and down, all or nothing kind of electricity that governs that energy is with you. You also have Venus in the 1st house. You've got Mars in the 1st house until the 9th. Then you've got Mercury entering Aries on the 13th. Interviewing, getting your resume in order. All of that applies with Mercury with you. Blogging, publishing, writing, local travel, connection with the vehicle, getting the vehicle in order, maintenance on the car, since Mercury's direct and Mercury is with you. Now, I'm excited about this, and I also like this little area. Okay, so 13th, there's a transit with Mercury. Then a week goes by before we hit the vernal equinox, our astrological new year, spring, blooming energy, the sun entering your first house. You govern the astrological wheel. You are the leader, Aries. We all know it. But the week prior to this vernal equinox is a very mellow, quiet time to hone in and release the full year's experience right before the initiating week. And I know we all think of December as our ending month of the year, which it is, but the astrological calendar starts on the 20th of March. So this last week prior, from the 13th to the 20th, no transits are aggressive. There's a week of reprieve is what I like to think of it as. And then it's the vernal equinox in the northern hemisphere and the autumnal equinox in the southern hemisphere. So it's very exciting. That is the day you want to push, publish, or send or enter on any business prospects. You want to initiate something strong in your career, in your personal life, with your body, health practices, commitment. That is the word of March 20th, commitment. What are you committed to? What do you want to see hold steadfast with you for a full year? This is a catalyst moment. Don't miss it, because we are in a number 1 year as well. If you add 2017 together, I know I'm on repeat with this, but not everyone has seen each video, so I do want to say this again for those of you watching for the first time. This is 2017. If you add those numbers, it's a number 1 year. It adds to number 10, and in numerology, everything is deduced to one number, between 1 and 9. So this number 1 year and the number 1 day of the number 1 month on the zodiac wheel, this is the day to start a new path for 9 years. And I don't want to see any of you miss it, Aries, because you have a plethora of personal planetary energy in this first house governing you. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous for new beginnings, gorgeous for fresh starts, even relationship energy. But I say the first house of body and commitment and health and work, just because those things will always stay with you. That's something you have control over. When it comes to relationship, there's other people involved in that. So you can't control all of that. So I'm focusing on what Aries has self-control over with initiating that new beginning. On the 27th, we have our new moon in Aries, 7 degrees of Aries, initiating energy. Again, the first week after the sun enters your sign, there is just this, I think, elation for Aries. So this new moon, this is all about you. Please write down a few things, make it 3 things, make it 9, make it 12 things that you want to envision absolutely manifesting within the year, within reason. I mean, getting a jet airplane and $1 billion, if you're willing to work at it and you have a great astrologer, you could get it. But think reasonably, because those things can manifest with vision, clarity, focus, and commitment. Let's get to the cards. I'm excited for you in this reading. They're thoroughly shuffled, Aries, and I do want to tell you, if you'd like to read with me, you can reach me at audreyalison.com. I've been doing readings for 25 years, way before YouTube. I have a very large clientele all over the world, and this is what I love to do. So thank you for choosing me. And you can find all of the information on my website, audreyalison.com. Aries, your first card. is the Six of Cups. And this cup is about nostalgia, returning to the past, connecting with someone from long ago. Now, there's not a Mercury retrograde, which tends to bring in communications from the past. However, Jupiter's retrograde, and that's in the 7th house of relationship for you. And that could be where someone returns that you could review if this is worth your cup of tea or not. And oh, the cups, interesting. Is it worth your cup? Is it worth your cup of tea? Let's see what else comes up. Judgment, major arcana card. This is a karmic card. It's also a card of people who have passed and a spiritual energy. But for those of you who have any type of guilt or wounds, resentment carried from perhaps past relationships, it's time to let that go. The wind is at their back. They're sailing away. Let that energy be dispersed. I think you do have angelic spirit guide energy coming up for this reading. Hermit. This is the full moon in Virgo. This is the card of Virgo, or it represents a Virgo in your life. Virgo's birthday is August 23rd through September 22nd. So the Hermit also means retract, retreat. Take that week from the 13th to the 20th. Keep the light on like the Hermit always does. He can still see and he can still be reached, but he doesn't always open the door. So maybe retract, retreat, envision. Let's see the last, there's 2 cards. Okay, the 9 of Wands, being ready, being prepared and ready for action, because it's wands, it's fire, being prepared for opponents. Maybe some of you are jockeying for position in the career and you do have competitive energy. Let me see the last card as well. Oh, 6 of Wands, more fire, ending on action, because that's the time to take it from the 20th on in the latter phase of the month. Also, the first 9 days you have Mars with you. That is a time of action too. But this is reward. This is honors. This is promotion. This is social media likes. This is people giving you the respect that you deserve. And for some reason, I'm feeling this is career related for Aries. Some of you, it's from this past karmic relationship that's coming back in, perhaps with a Virgo. Either way, ending on this competition leads to you being the victor. The 9 wands deduced to the 6 wands means you might be weeding out this competition, and you're the one left standing. You're the one riding the horse. You're the one left standing, holding that wand with the wreath, your victory. Don't be surprised if you hear from someone in the beginning of the month while Jupiter is retrograde in your romance sector, relationship sector, and soulmate sector, which is this kind of karmic energy. And the opposition with Jupiter, they might come in very roughly, they might come in very abrasive. And the message I actually just wanted to say is someone has been having a relationship with you in their mind. And when they approach you, whether it's, email, instant messenger, whatever, they're already going to have had this experience with you, I think, and they're not on your radar, is what I'm getting. So they've already been emotionally in this connection with you. Maybe they're just looking at your pictures and daydreaming and being internal, which February can do, because we're in that month right now. The Piscean energy through the first half of March as well can make people live in their minds, live in the head, live in the imagination. So the message is, if they come through abrasive, it's because they've already been in this connection with you for a few months before they had the balls to kind of, or whatever, the nerve to, send you a message. So Be kind. Don't be too harsh of judgment either of this person, but maybe you're taking your time to discern whether or not you even want to get back to them, is my message. But victory for you in creative works, in career endeavors, especially those independent entrepreneur, solopreneurial people with the fire, with the wands, very creative energy. Thanks for joining me, Aries. I'm wishing you a beautiful solar return. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.